Dr. Eve here. Hope all is well. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to another day amongst the land of the living. And what are you doing with it? Super excited to be here with you one more day, making the best, the very best of this beautiful day because tomorrow is not promised. So I'm going to give today all that I have. And so I'm excited to be with you. And my question for you today is, do you understand your identity as a gardener? Now, that is wild, right? My dad, I will never forget my dad when he was on his, last days, and he would say things like, I'm going to be God's gardener. And I'm like, but where, Dad? Where did you hear that? Like, is that a real thing? And my dad knew some things. And he caused me to go and do some research in the Bible, my instructional book. And I was like, God, where does it appear in the Bible? And let me just be clear so I can give you the correct verse for that. I'm going to ask Google. Google, where does gardener appear in the Bible? So I was very curious about that because my dad used to always say it. I'm going to be God's gardener. And so I looked it up, and it says the word gardener appears once in the Bible in John 20 and 15, where Mary Magdalene mistakes Jesus for a gardener. This passage is the only time the word gardener is used in the Bible. So let's go to John 20 and 15. And let's talk about what it means. Okay, so here God gives the human person the symbolic vocation of gardener, right? Have you ever wondered about that? What did that mean? If he set us in the garden to cultivate it and to do amazing things, then we're all his gardeners, right? So it's described as our vocation to this in the earth. So the garden was our first place. That's where he put our people, ancestors. And he told them what to do, to take care of the land, take care of the earth and all the things in it, right? And we were the greatest of them all, right? Of all the creatures that were made, we were the greatest. And we were to take care of it all, right? So in this symbolic vocation of gardener, it's calling the person to care for the soil and all that comes from the soil. Now listen to me here. Where did we come from as humans? The very first human that God formed, what did he come from? The soil. Okay, so he made him from the dirt. So I thought that was really an interesting parallel because I have been keeping this ground, and I heard my daddy say that he was going to be God's gardener. And I'm like, what, Daddy? What that mean? Where that's at? So you're supposed to be a keeper. You're supposed to be taking care of the soil. You're supposed to be cultivating the land. You're supposed to be making sure that all is well, right? Now, what's a garden? What's your garden? Because your garden could be your business. It could be taking care of people. It could be whatever God has called you to be. That's your garden. So I began to think about, my position because my seasons changed. Over the years, your seasons do change. You are not the same person you were when you were a teenager. You are, because you were being nurtured. You're not the same person when you were in college. I hope not, except that you were a kind person. You are not the same when you were 30, and for me, 40, 50, right? Hey there. So it's very important that we differentiate what season we're in and what is our gardening responsibility at this point in our lives. So I got to begin to thinking about over my life because I am truly in assuring that I identify with my garden season always, right? As an urban gardener, as an urban homesteader, as a researcher, field researcher in the industry of agriculture and whatever else it is I want to study, God has allowed me, little old me, to get a PhD. Now, so that means that he termed me out. He said, okay, go and be a researcher. I want you to go and be a researcher because a PhD gives you the lens of a researcher. It gives you the ability to conduct research. It gives you the ability to share with the people the internal and external validity of research, right? So it gives you a lens. So even in this time, even in retirement, I'm at my peak, literally at my peak garden experience because God has called me to a terminal space, which is Doctor of Philosophy, and that can be in whatever I'm doing. And at 62, I am growing an urban homestead. I am helping my community to learn how to grow food. I am demonstrating what that looks like each and every day through my own lived experiences. Why? Because that is the kind of researcher that I am. I believe that if we are going to teach people things, we should be living we should be a role model for them, and we should be practicing what we preach. And so I thought that that was just an interesting reflection for me this morning because it makes me feel good to know that I'm walking in the season. I am standing in my terminal season. I am doing the work of my Father each and every day, cultivating that which He has given me to do in whatever season you are in. So I want you all, if you are here and you are interested in learning more about cultivating the earth, understanding your identity, developing yourself in ways that you can't even imagine, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm here just about every day. And also, while you're at it, like and subscribe my Instagram where I post about the things that I'm doing each and every day. So I am about to go out because I did my garden evaluation for today. Y'all, yesterday was heavy because I discovered that my grapevine was having some difficulty, that was beginning to develop what is called black rot, which is like a rustic disease of the leaves, which means that I needed to give it some airflow. I needed to prune it. I needed to cut it back. I referred to my local extension office, and I got some good information from them. But I also understand that there are natural and organic ways to address a problem when you are in the garden. And so I took Epsom salt, a half a cup of Epsom salt, mixed it with a gallon of water, stirred it up real good, and I fed and I gave my vines a real good feeding.